guys, how's it going? Alright, so we're in the man cave in my backyard on Mark Victor, and what I'm going to do is change the wheel bearings in the rear wheel of the DR650. Now let's go over and have a look at some of the tools we need to use. Rightio, so we need a socket to remove the back wheel. Obviously going to need a hammer, a drift or punch, some way to punch out these wheel bearings. Now, I'm lucky enough to have these really big sockets that will fully go over the outer rim to be able to punch them back in. You can, and I've seen people use the old bearing to sit on top and then bash that in. So that's another option if you don't have really large sockets like I do. Things to be doing the cleaning up. I use Maximo contact cleaner. You can use WD-40 or any bloody cleaner that you like to use. I will be using grease just to help stuff slide in. I'm not going to, and I'm going to show you guys in a minute, that I don't need to grease these. These are pre-greased, and I don't believe I need to add any more than what's in there. We'll most probably use the heat gun to heat up the outside of the rim, and then also a freezer to put these in to make the job go a lot more easier. Righto, so as you guys know, I am not a mechanic, I'm not an expert. This is me just showing you in my backyard, in the man cave, showing you how I do it. Now, I want to give a shout out to Dal from Delboy Garage. He's over in the UK. He's got a big channel there and he does all this stuff. Now, I watched one that he did was changing the rear bearings, and it was on a Triumph motorcycle. Very much the same. So on the DR650, there's a Cush drive bearing, and then there's the two bearings in the wheel. He's had exactly the same, and he shows how he does it, and he doesn't use a heat gun, he doesn't use a freezer, he uses the old bearing to pound these in. He did not put extra grease in these. I'm going to open one up just so you can see what's in there and how much grease. Some people go, there's not a lot of grease in there, so I need to pack more in there. My belief, and I presume obviously Del from Delboy's Garage most probably runs with the same philosophy, is that the manufacturer should know how much needs to be in there. Now, I know some people will say, well, they skimp on the grease to save some money, but at the end of the day, if they're not putting enough grease in there and these are failing prematurely, they're doing themselves a bloody a bad thing. I would, you know, long term, nobody's going to buy that brand of bearing, if you know what I mean. Cool. Alright, let's have a look inside these bearings. Actually guys, before we have a look in there, I bought these from Vince Strand Motorcycles.net.au, I think it is. I'll put it up there, their link. This is not sponsored, no affiliation. That's where I buy most of the stuff. They specialise in DR650 stuff. So I presume he's giving the right products, the right brands that he believes. He's been doing it for years. So I bought a kit. So it was the front and the rear bearings all in this kit, and I paid $55, and I bought this most probably 12 months ago in preparation for when that back wheel actually started to go, which I'm very excited about. Rightio guys, so these three here are for the rear and these two here are for the front. Obviously there's one of these in there. This thing here is the seal, so there's one seal there, and then on the rear there are two seals. So I hadn't done this before, so obviously I'm presuming this at this stage. We're going to find out, but that'll be the seal for the Cush drive, and that'll be the seal for one side of the bearings in the wheel. Cool. Alright guys, so I'm just going to use a screwdriver to pick this seal out. Got to be really careful that I didn't mess up anything there. Now as you can see, I'm going to come down close on that. So as you can see, there is grease in there, and some people look at that and go, well, there's not a lot of grease in there, I'm going to whack some more in there, but I'm not going to do that. Rightio guys, time to get this back wheel off. Rightio guys, so we've got the back wheel off. This is obviously the sprocket side, so we should be able to just lift that off like that. So that's the Cush drive. So these little rubber things, they all come out. So we'll remove those, just get them out of the bloody way. We'll probably give them a bit of a clean up. Looks like there's a bit of residue, most probably, they're still in good condition. You can buy replacement ones of those. So we've got one bearing in there. In here there's, just on there is another bearing, so we've got to get this out. And then on the other side, in here, is the other bearing there. So what we're going to do at the moment is get this Cush drive, whatever you want to call it, sprocket bearing out. We'll start with that first. Rightio, so we've got to get these spacer bits and pieces out. They take quite a bit to get it out. A bit of a tap. There you go. So that piece from in there has come out. They get a bit stuck because, you know, it all gets gritty and bloody oxidised and all that kind of stuff. And then get this piece out. There you go. So that one's out of there. Cool. So all these, I'll just give them all a clean up. So now that has exposed all this, so we've got to get this seal off. Rightio guys, I was struggling to get this seal out, and I've come down to using one of these, trying to gouge in there, and I can see I've already put a little nick on there, which I'll be able to fix that up. But what ended up being the way to do it is to get your screwdriver, a big long one, just slip it underneath there, and then do that. And it takes quite a bit of force because it went flying up. So that's how we get that done. So now, well, yeah, that's real wriggly and bigly. So as you can see, that's very gunked up and all wiggly and shit. So I don't know whether this one is the offending one, but that's certainly seen its day. Alright guys, so to help this come out, I'm just going to have me hot gun. I'm going to heat up this outer bit here, because this is aluminium, the bearing is steel, so this should expand slightly. So most probably do this for 2 minutes, and then I'll come back to you. Rightio guys, I reckon that's about 2 minutes, thereabouts. So I've got these two bits of wood so that I don't bend this, so that's going to go under the solid part. So now, grab that drift and hopefully just flip that over. You can see that's slowly getting up. Just try and just go around. Have another look. As you can see, that's just about out now. And hey presto, there it is, that is out. So now I have to clean all this up, get it ready. But I've just realised I haven't put the bearing in the freezer. I better go do that while I clean this up. Rightio, so open up the freezer, put the bearings in, and I reckon about half an hour should do that. Rightio, so as you saw, those things went into the freezer. Now what I'm going to do is just clean all this up, because clean all the junk up as best as I can. Use whatever cleaner you want to do that with. These pieces here, same thing, I'll clean all these up. I may put a bit of emery paper around them if there's a bit of oxidization, but yeah, that's it. And the Cush drive rubbers will get a bit of a clean up as well. Cool. Rightio guys, so all this has been cleaned up. That's all been cleaned up. spacer. I don't know any of the terminologies for any of these pieces. Now I did notice on this one, hopefully you can see that. So you can see that scoring on that side there, and I don't know whether that should, if that's normal or not. So I'm just going to go with it should be okay. And yeah, so that's it. Cool. So what I've got to do now is I'm just going to put a smear of grease just on here. That'll actually help, or hopefully help, with the bearing going down in there. So it's just a smear, that's it. Got to heat this up again. So again, I'll most probably do 2 minutes of heating this up. Once that's done, I'll race in, grab the bearings out of the freezer, and we'll see how it pops in there. Rightio guys, so I've got the, make sure there's no moisture on that. That's straight out of the, I reckon it's been about 35 minutes. I should be able to, oop. Drop that there. Now, I've got to grab this hammer. Now, it doesn't matter which way that goes in, it's universal. Going in. Going in easy. Looking pretty good. Ah, you can see that side, just that noise. That should be done. Well, look, I'm looking to see whether the bearing is hitting on the shelf in there. And that looks pretty damn bloody good to me. Just give it one final taparoonie. Yep, beautiful. Done. Alright, so what I've done, I think I didn't press play, guys. I've just put a little bit of grease all the way around these. All it does is just stops things from binding and stuff like that. Now the seal's got to go on, so that side goes down, so that that full side there is facing, you can see that. So what we'll do is we'll put just a bit of grease around that. Just makes it all going. Now we should be able to just put this in, making sure that's still not too hot, that's alright. Should just go in with my fingers. Oh. Oh well, should. Alright, might be time for a hammer. Oh, far out. No wonder it was hard when it was hard to get it out. Oh, that's crazy. Oh, well there you go. It's a bit like changing the tyre on a bike. You just got to get it in and then work it around. Don't try and bite the whole lot in. Work it that way around. Cool. Make sure that is in. Alright, so now this should sit like that, and then this one here, obviously you can only put it one way, obviously it doesn't work that way. So little side goes in. I think that must be it. Cool bananas, so there you go. That and that, they just sit there. Cool, so that's the Cush hub bearing now done. Now we've got to do the other two on the wheel. Sorry guys, I just wanted to show you that was still sticking out a little bit. That goes back into about there, just so if you want that for reference, that goes in that way, or that far down. And that one sits out there like that. Cool. Rightio guys, so you're still hanging with me. That was a good achievement getting that done. It's the first time I've ever done something like that. So now we've got the wheel. So we've got the wheel. I've already gave this a bit of a clean up. Also cleaned all that up. So we've got one bearing there. And then on this side, we've got this piece here, which is going to come out and get cleaned up. Get this seal off. Well, that one came off a whole lot easier. That's going to get thrown away. So I'm just checking to see this one's alright. That Cush drive was absolutely stuffed. So it seems like it was the Cush drive bearing that was actually buggered. This one may have a little bit of movement in it. Alright, so I'm going to clean that up. Alright, so I've cleaned that up. So what we've got here is we've got a bearing there, a bearing on the other side, and in between there, if I wriggle it, if you listen, that's a spacer, a round spacer in there. So what we've got to do is move that spacer to the side so I can get this drift down onto the other bearing and then to tap it out. So I reckon it's going to be a bit of mucking around. I'll use a torch. Yeah, so if I move it, I can then get on to the edge, and then I'll just go around like that and see if we can pop it out. But I will heat this up for 2 minutes before trying. Try and just make it as easy on myself as possible. I'll come back to you when I'm ready. Rightio guys, so that's it's been about 2 minutes. So this is the side I want to get out. I've heated up, so we flip it over. Find the drift, or the punch, whatever you want to call it. Push that spacer over. Easier said than done, Mark. Oh no, there you go. Start tapping. Just take it over, have a look. Oh. So that's coming out. I can see that it's already raised up. Oh. So it's working. There you go guys, so you can see that now. That is definitely slowly coming out. Alright, remember to make a gap. Cool, so that's even further out now, nearly there. There you go. So that's the spacer. A little bit rusty. Oh geez, it's hot. Oh. And That is the bearing. Cool. So now we've got to get this bearing out, so I'm going to do the same thing. Just heat it up. I'll come back to you when we're ready to pop that out. Alright guys, I reckon I'm just about done. Flip it over. Let the drift. Start tapping. See how we're going. Looks like we're slowly coming out. I'm making sure I'm not going to buckle my. I think I'm right there. Yeah, I can already feel it's just about ready to go. There you go, guys. You can see that. Starting to pop out. I think that's it. Yep. There it is. One. Oh, very hot. Oh. Very hot bearing. Alright, so now all we're going to do is clean these up. Heat them up again. Then I'll reheat the side, grab it out of the freezer, whack it in, same deal. Alright, I'm going to go clean this up and I'll come back to you when I'm ready to pop the first one in. Rightio guys, so I've just been cleaning up the bits and pieces, and everything that I've been cleaning up, all I'm using to clean up is one of those bloody kitchen scrubby things, just a material one. Bit of cloth, and where did it go? Just on this, if there was something that wouldn't come off, I'd just use a bit of very fine sandpaper. On this spacer, I don't know if you can see up on this side, that was all rusted, like surface rust, as opposed to that side there, which I didn't have to do anything. So I've just rubbed this all over it, not taking metal off, just taking off that crap. So I've cleaned that up. But what I've noticed in here, hopefully you guys are going to be able to see it. Yeah, can you see that glint there? And it looks like it's a fresh nick. So actually something has gouged it. So I don't know whether it was the way I took it off the bike. I'm just going to get something. So this is the axle that came out. So that runs through, and that's in the centre of the bike. And so you've got a bearing there and a bearing on that side. So as I go to put, I can feel that hitting that little knock. Same when I go the other way, it's hitting that thing. So that, I've got to have bloody done that. I don't know how the hell I did it. But yeah, you can see it there. Crazy. So I'm going to have to get a file and file that down, see if I can fix that up. Right, guys, so using a couple of files, I've managed to, hopefully you can see that. So you can see there's quite a gouge out of it, but there's no raised up part. It's nice and smooth now. So basically when that goes through, it's just, whoa, silky smooth. It's just got a little bit of a divot in there now. Don't know what I did. Maybe I got a bit heavy-handed on bashing that through when I've taken the wheel off at some stage, and it might have just, yeah, who knows. But there you go. Shit happens and you just got to fix it up. Cool. All right, let's get into bloody getting these bearings in. Rightio guys, so we're going to get a little bit more grease just to smear around here. Now there's a very important, I don't know, call it a pro tip or something to remember, and that is once we put the first bearing in there, we've got to remember to put that spacer in, because if you forget, you've got to then bang your really good one out to then put that back in. So I've got to remember, don't forget to do that. So this is just a smear. Don't have any globs in there. Might as well do the other side while we're here. Cool bananas. So same deal again, 2 minutes with the heat gun, then I'll grab the bearing and whack her in. Come back to you in a minute. Sorry guys, I reckon I buggered up. I didn't bloody press play, or the battery, I don't know. I'll put a new battery in the camera. So I've just been hammering that down, and I can hear that is fully seated down. So I don't know if I've said already, but now that that's in there, I've got to remember to put that in before I put the next one in. So that should be all clean. I'm going to drop that in there. So now I'm going to heat this up with a heat gun for 2 minutes, and then I'll go and get the bearings and whack it in, and hopefully the camera will be rolling this time. Alright, I'll see you when I'm ready. Rightio guys, did it again. God, bloody didn't press record. So the spacer is in there. Remember to put the spacer in. I've just sat that on there. And I tell you what, it sat in, and then of course now that I can't pull the bloody thing back out to show you what I was doing. Alright, so whack this on here and bang away. Oh, seems like it's going in a bit crooked. Oh, it gets so hot my fingers go down there and bloody burn on them. Going down nicely now. Excellent. Oh. So as we get closer down, I just got to make sure that space is nicely lined up. There should be a little bit of play in it anyway. There you go, we now feel that hit. I reckon that's it, and if I wiggle, oh, well, that seems pretty tight actually. Oh, it's hot. I thought that would have wiggled a little bit more. That space is not wiggling in there now, so I don't know whether that's because all this is hot. Once it everything cools down, it may go back to wiggling. Give this, I mean, there was a shelf on this side that I can't go too far. Yeah, I can feel that's flush. Rightio, so that's that done. I'm going to wait till this cools down. I want to make sure that that center spacer has a little bit of wiggle in it, because that's what it should have, before I go any further and not lead you guys down the wrong way. Cool, I'll come back to you. Rightio guys, so I reckon I thought I'd stuffed bloody shit up. I thought I'd totally wrecked it. So I was saying about that the inner spacer tube was not moving freely, and it has to move freely. So I've been doing some research. I couldn't find anything on YouTube that really talked about that. On both sides of this, you see there's a shelf. Some bikes, some tyres, different. Everything's a little bit different. Some have circlips and all that kind of stuff. But on this, there was a definite shelf on both sides where you would hammer the bearing down to sit on. Anyway, I've gone to the service manual, and out of their diagram and their right and left, I reckon I've nutted it out right. When you're putting them back in, if you put in, which is the right hand side, that one gets driven in first, and that will sit on that shelf. But the chain side, which is the left side, which is this side, you do that one next. But obviously you put that spacer in and you get that nice, and I didn't have it, obviously I didn't keep looking to make sure that I had it centered when I was getting down close, and it was obviously off center. So in the diagram they show that there is a small
space, free space, so this side doesn't go all the way down to that shelf. So as you're tapping it down, once you get close to that spacer, you've got to stop tapping down so that you still have the wriggle. Now I was managed to be able to get that wriggle back, so I've now got that. Yeah, very confusing the way they do that, or why it's done that way. I'm sure there's a reason why there it is, because obviously when we put this into the bike and we do everything up, those bearings will clamp down together onto that spacer and it stops them going past or wrecking the actual bearing, if you know what I mean. So I've got it, I reckon I've now got it right. So I believe I have the bearings in there dead straight. Obviously it's hard to, but so you can see that spacer there. Move that around. Now having to, the way I was to, I had to hit on the top of that spacer to knock the other one back to get some wriggle. So I've done a little bit of damage in there, you can see that. I don't think that's going to cause me too much issue. There you go. Rightio guys, so I'm putting a bit of grease just around in there, a bit around this seal. Hopefully, now that I know what I'm doing, I can get that to go in. Oh, look at that, beautiful. Let's give that a bit of a tap, make sure it's all in. Excellent. And then I've got this, and I've put a little bit of grease around that little Duvalaki thing, and that will sit in there like that. And that should be it, guys. Excellent. Alright, so now we've got to put our little Cush drive cushion Duvalaki things. Get them all in there. Oh, where am I going? Wrong way. It's like a little jigsaw puzzle, this is. So they're on. And we got that one all done, hopefully pretty good. I'm hoping this is going to work. Now it slots in on there. Beautiful, that all feels really good actually. Alright, so it's ready to go back into the bike. Okay. Now I've got to go that way. Beautiful, there we go. Crazy. Alright, I'll finish this up and I'll come back to you and we'll have a quick bloody chat about shit, alright? Oh, alright guys. Actually went and had tea. So there you go, she's on. It turns and there is nothing. If we listen, I'll bring it closer. There we go. Nothing. Remember that noise that we were hearing before? Beautiful. Rightio guys, so that is a done deal. I believe that is pretty well sweet. Now I'm not going to know for sure. I mean, if I got one of those bearings just a slight bit out of whatever, you know, it's going to wear out those bearings a lot quicker. I think they looked all bloody well straight. Everything's gone back together. Everything's doing what it's supposed to be doing. No noises. So I'm quietly bloody confident. So here's these, so the old bloody, they're just, yeah, pretty much cactus. That one there is cactus, that's in the wheel. That's the Cush drive one, that one's cactus. This one's okay, it feels okay. There's no rickety-ricketies, but these two, so two were actually buggered. So I would say that that's an easy job. I reckon you could get that done if you know what you're doing and you're not obviously trying to video your bloody process of doing it. I would say you could get that done in about an hour and a half at the most. If you know what you're doing, you can mostly knock it out in 45 minutes. But, so things to remember is the spacer. Don't forget, because I've seen people on YouTube doing that, where they put the first one in and they get all excited, and they put the second one in, they go, shit, forgot to put that spacer in the middle. So remember that. Now with the DR650, you've got to remember, so when you're putting, you can do the Cush drive one, no problem, simple as you bang it down, it sits into spot. You can't get that wrong. When it comes to the wheel, make sure that you do the right hand side first, so the side with your disc brake side. Pop that side in first. Obviously it has your seal on there, that has the seal on that side. So then you put your spacer in. Then on the left hand side, which is your chain side, then you want to put that one in. Now once you've got that spacer in, make sure you have it dead center, and then tap that bearing in, and just keep checking to make sure that spacer doesn't move, because that's what's happened to me, and it went off kilter and half stuffed me up. But I still think if I had had it straight, I would have been bashing it on too far. When I looked at the diagram, I'm going to here's the diagram. Oh no, I won't put the diagram up because you won't without me pointing it out. On the diagram, it shows that the bearing fits flush up to, so on that side, flush to the little shelf. But on this side, the bearing goes up, but not all the way. The shelf, there's a shelf there, but it doesn't go flush with it. They show and indicate that there is a small space. So I think what they're trying to say without saying it in the service book is that when you pound it down so it's just about touching that the spacer, so you can still wriggle it, and you will be bloody sweet as what? Sweet as lollies? Yeah, that'll do. Cool. Alright, so if you're watching this video, it is all worked. I haven't had a chance to go. I'm going to get this edited and bloody I've got to go for a test ride and make sure everything's full on working properly. So if you're seeing this video, it is all good what I showed you, including my bloody stuff ups. Rightio guys, so I just did a quick test ride of Max. So took him out, did some long bloody 100k stuff, took him over to the proving ground, and went through some, all the bloody rickety rocketies and all that kind of stuff. Can't fault him. He is just like normal. Back wheel didn't bloody fall off. And hopefully, look at that, nothing. Bloody good shit. Cool. That's it guys. So an average bloke, I'm just an average bloke. An average bloke can do it. Take your time, just do bit by bit. If you get a bit frustrated, walk away, have a cuppa, talk to the missus, whatever. Then come back to it, reassess, and do that. If you do it like that, just take your time, don't get under pressure and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I do it to myself. I'm blabbling like usual. Alright guys, keep on riding, and if you ain't riding, keep on keeping on.